What's up, guys? How's it going? So we are back with another What's to Come to Rust, and today's subject is going to be PvE and Radtowns, and this is going to be the next big focus for the team on the game. And according to Gary, at least in the last few dev vlogs, he said you guys have been begging us for better PvE. Just in case you don't know what PvE means, it means player versus environment. So people feel the environment of Rust isn't good enough. It's not challenging. It's not hard. It's not immersive enough. And so, as you can see here, we're going to be scrolling through lots of concepts, but we're going to also hit some actual near-finished products here, which is going to be really cool. Now, some people who've played on Happus Island know what some of their custom Radtowns look like. And those are really cool looking, but they're going to go one step past that. They want to do procedural Radtowns. Essentially have like a set Radtown that will spawn, but then pieces around it can be different. It could have sewers. It could maybe not have sewers. It could have a trackway going through it, a road going through it. It could have a messed up bridge connected to it. And that's probably something that's going to take a while to do. But I have a feeling we'll be seeing these first iterations of these new Radtowns just to check them out. Even if they're not the procedural, but they'll show up on the maps like the current Radtowns are. And those have always been placeholders. You can't go in them. You can't open the doors. And we all know in Legacy, even how crappy some of them were, you could at least open the garage doors. You could open doors and go inside most of the buildings. That's just something that is going to be really cool. And I mean, you've seen the monorail here, the crashed plane. You know, this is stuff they want to do. There's a crashed airplane airdrop. The actual airdrop airplane crashed in Happus in the water. A lot of people don't know it's there. So, I mean, it'll be cool to see these things come to the procedural maps and just see how it grows. I've always loved this one because it looks so much like a swamp, and I would just love to have a swamp biome in the game. So hopefully they plan on adding more biomes. I know a lot of people want at least swamps and as well as jungles. I don't know how jungles work because, well, this isn't Minecraft. You can't just all of a sudden go from the Arctic to a jungle, but hey, we'll see. But these are some of the newer concepts for these new procedural Radtowns. Right here you see this this one here. And it's basically just made up of modules. You see like warehouses, buildings, towers, stuff like that. And they just kind of want to merge it all together and make something cool out of it. This little submerged waterway is really cool, coming out from a sewer. Coming up right here in a second, we're going to have an actual picture of the sewers themselves with the little dick butt picture there. You gotta love the humor. But, I mean, just anything close to this would just be amazing in the game. So this is the kind of stuff they're working on in the Dungeons branch. So if you ever follow their Twitter and you see something or someone's mentioned Dungeons, that's what they're calling it. And basically, yeah, the Dungeons map. I can't talk. The Dungeons branch is the word we're looking for there, guys. And this is the kind of stuff they're working on. And what we're about to see here after this little, another joke there, is sperm kit. You gotta love that. Instead of supermarket, you know, missing letters. Ha ha ha. Is this right here. This is the gray box of the first procedural Radtown. You've got some train tracks going through it. It has a sewer. It's got the big old smokestacks. And, I mean, it is super cool. And I think the idea is that you can get into all of these buildings. And this, I mean, this is now. That's being made. This is being textured. It will be in the game. Maybe not exactly as we see it, but I mean, this is what they have built so far. And here's kind of a close-up underneath the smokestacks. You can see, and this is going to be really cool. There's a hole in the pipe there with like a mound of maybe cement or sand going up to it. And maybe you can crawl into the pipes. I mean, this is just cool. And the amount of detail that they're going to put into these buildings, in these Radtowns, is what we've all been waiting for. These real Radtowns. But this is the first one, the factory. The second one they're going to be working on now is the train yard. This is the original concept art of the train yard. They relinked it in the last dev blog and said this is the next thing they're going to bring back to life. Or bring to life, I should say. And I just can't wait to see it. The other thing is events. We've got airdrops, but what else could they add? Well, the very first thing that got brought up was this beached whale. And a lot of people thought it was going to end up on the Happus Island, but it kind of just disappeared and they haven't talked about it. So who knows? I don't know if they scrapped the whole project. The idea is the whale would wash up and you get a bunch of resources, cloth, maybe something special from the teeth, a bunch of bone, all that kind of stuff. And this concept was just really cool looking. And they actually, as you can see right here, is they modeled it. They got the start to it. So, you know, it's a very low res, low poly, but they did start on it. So, hey, maybe we'll see it again. Maybe it'll make it in. The one event we do know they're working on is the satellites. So they do plan on making a satellite. Satellite crashes. It's an event, like an airdrop. You get special resources from it. Maybe stuff we can't craft. Solar panels. Who knows what they could do with it. But there's a lot of potential there for high-tech gizmos and such that we can get. And it definitely a super cool event. I would love seeing this thing just come burning out of the sky, crash, and then everyone rushes to it because that's the only way you can get a solar panel or something, you know? So definitely really, really, really cool. Very excited to see what they do with this. This is supposedly what the rumored secret is, so we'll see. The other thing is the PvE threat. Caretakers is what these little robots have been called, or maybe not so little. I can't wait to see what Gary does with it. They have said that they want to pursue the Caretakers. I'm super excited for that. It will be really interesting to see, again, another opportunity to get high-tech stuff instead of being able to craft it. So there's a million different ways they could do with this, and I just can't wait to see what the iteration ends up being. The other thing is our Rad Animals coming back. I don't know. They haven't talked about them at all for a while, but I mean, we've got the concept art. It's sitting there. It's been sitting there a very long time. I hope they do Rad Animals. I hope they do mutants as well. I don't want to see people NPCs, but I mean, look at this. This art is great, and I just can't wait to see them implement something like this into the game once again. Something ferocious, something to fear. And I know in our server we have the animals cranked up a bit, but that's still not quite enough. So, the other thing a lot of people hope, there's the Rad Wolf, is to see other animals. So far, the only concept I've seen is birds and bunnies, so we'll see what they do, but I hope you guys enjoyed, learned something. We'll see you next time.